You're not exhausted, you're not burned out, you're not overwhelmed, you are comfortable, and comfort has made you weak. If that sentence irritated you, good. That means it touched something real. Intro. The modern lie. We live in the age of excuses dressed as explanations. I'm tired, I'm stressed, I've been through a lot. Maybe. But the Stoics would ask a colder question. Compared to what? You sleep in a bed, you eat without hunting, you are warm, entertained, distracted, stimulated, and still you avoid effort. That's not fatigue, that's discipline decay. The Stoic definition of tired. The Stoics did not deny exhaustion. They understood limits, but they made a sharp distinction. There is physical fatigue and there is moral laziness. One requires rest, the other requires contempt. Marcus Aurelius wrote while ruling an empire. Epictetus taught while crippled. Seneca advised power while sick and exiled. None of them complain the way we do. Why? Because their lives were not built around comfort. Why modern life drains you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your life is easy. That's why it feels heavy. You wake up and immediately consume screens, messages, noise. Before you've done a single difficult thing, you've already spent your mental energy. You haven't worked. You've indulged. And indulgence always creates fatigue. Pleasure borrows energy from the future. Discipline creates it. Dopamine, the silent thief. The Stoics didn't have a word for dopamine, but they understood its effect. They called it pleasure, and they distrusted it deeply. Not because pleasure is evil, but because it trains the mind to obey impulses. Every scroll, every snack, every hit of novelty, you are teaching yourself one lesson. Avoid effort, seek relief. And then you wonder why effort feels impossible, why you feel mentally drained. Let's be precise. You are not mentally drained from thinking. You are mentally drained from reacting. Notifications, opinions, drama, endless choice. The Stoics trained to reduce inputs. You increase them. They protected their attention like territory. You surrender it hourly. Attention is energy. Waste it and discipline collapses. The comfort trap. Comfort feels like safety, but it produces fragility. The Stoics warned about this directly. A man who avoids discomfort becomes afraid of it. A man who fears discomfort becomes controllable. That's why modern people panic at minor hardship. Cold, boredom, silence, delay. These are not threats, they are training grounds. Why discipline feels so hard now. Discipline didn't become harder. Life became softer. When everything is optional, effort feels cruel. When nothing is demanded, self-demand feels violent. So you hesitate. You negotiate with yourself. You wait to feel ready. The Stoics would call that surrender. They did not wait for motivation. They acted from duty. The Stoic rule you've been ignoring. Here is a rule Epictetus lived by. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. No mood checks, no emotional alignment. Decide, then act. Modern discipline fails because it waits for feelings. Stoic discipline ignores them. Why rest isn't saving you. You rest and still feel tired. Because rest doesn't fix a lack of structure. It only pauses the damage. If your days are built around indulgence, rest becomes another indulgence. The Stoics rested with intention, not escape. Rest was recovery from effort, not avoidance of it. The shame you've been avoiding. Let's be honest. Part of you knows this. You know when you're lying to yourself. You know when tired really means undisciplined. And that quiet shame you feel, that's not toxic, that's informative. The Stoics believed shame had a purpose. It pointed toward correction. Ignoring it creates decay. The moment responsibility returns. There is a moment every disciplined person remembers. The moment they stopped asking, "How do I feel?" and started asking, "What must be done?" That moment is uncomfortable, cold, silent, no applause, no motivation speech, just action. A Stoic challenge, not a hack. Tomorrow morning, do this. Wake up. Do not touch your phone. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. No music, no stimulation. Feel the resistance. That's the weakness speaking. Then do one difficult thing immediately, not later, not optimally, immediately. This is not productivity. This is self-command. If you continue to confuse comfort with care, you will grow weaker while feeling busier. If you continue to treat discipline as cruelty, life will become unbearable. The Stoics understood something we forgot. Freedom is not ease. Freedom is control. And control begins the moment you stop saying, I'm tired. If this hit you, stay around for the second part of this video. Subscribe if you want Stoicism without comfort. Like the video if you're done lying to yourself. Comment one habit you already know is weakening you. Silence is allowed, but action is required. Part 2. If you're waiting for relief, you're not ready. Stoicism does not comfort weakness. It exposes it, then demands correction. What you feel right now, that tightness, that resistance, that is the old self resisting command. Good. That means authority is returning. The Stoic shift from feeling to order. Most people live emotionally. They wake up asking, how do I feel? Stoics woke up asking, what is required? This is not cruelty. It is clarity. Order comes before mood. Action comes before confidence. When action leads, feelings fall in line. The daily Stoic structure, no flexibility. Discipline fails when it negotiates, so we remove negotiation. The Stoics structured life around non-optional actions, not goals, not habits, duties. You don't feel like duty, you execute it. Rule 1, start hard. The first action of your day must be difficult, not optimal, not impressive, difficult. Cold water, silence, movement. Why? Because the first act teaches the mind who is in charge. If comfort wins first, it will rule the day. Rule 2, reduce inputs, increase burden. Modern weakness comes from excess input and insufficient burden. The Stoics reverse this. Less noise, more weight, less opinion, more responsibility. You don't need inspiration, you need pressure. Pressure reveals character. Comfort hides it. The Stoic use of pain. Pain was never the enemy, avoidance was. The Stoics used pain as calibration. Cold sharpened awareness. Hunger refined restraint. Silence strengthened focus, not permanently, deliberately. Discomfort was a teacher, not a punishment. Why small discipline fails. You've tried starting small. It didn't work because your problem isn't scale. It's seriousness. Small actions feel optional. Optional actions invite excuses. The Stoics chose clear acts of obedience. Short, sharp, non-negotiable. The discipline of silence. Here's a Stoic rule most people ignore. Do not announce your discipline. No posts, no explanations, no declarations. Why? Because talking releases pressure. Silence. When no one knows, you can't perform, you must execute. How Stoics killed procrastination. They did not analyze it. Procrastination is delayed obedience, so they remove delay. If something must be done, it begins now. Not perfectly, not comfortably. Now, the Stoic response to boredom. Boredom is a test. It asks one question. Can you exist without stimulation? Weak minds panic. Strong minds endure. Stoics trained boredom deliberately, because a mind that survives boredom cannot be controlled by pleasure. The phone, your modern master. Let's be direct. Your phone commands you. Buzzes, lights, pulls attention. The Stoics would see this clearly. If something can interrupt your will, it owns you. Discipline begins by placing the phone away. Not deleting apps, not tricks, distance. The Stoic Evening Review. Every night, the Stoics reviewed themselves, not with guilt, with precision. They asked, where did I obey comfort? Where did I hesitate? Where did I act correctly? No emotion, no stories. Correction only matters when it's exact. Why motivation will never save you. Motivation is emotional weather. Stoicism builds stone. You don't wait for favorable conditions to uphold duty. You act because it is yours to act. That's the difference between power and hope. The moment you become dangerous. There is a moment when life shifts, when you stop seeking permission, when you stop explaining yourself, when effort becomes automatic. That moment arrives quietly. No celebration, no announcement, just results. What discipline feels like after time. At first, discipline feels harsh. Then it feels neutral. Then it feels calming, because chaos exits your mind. Stoicism does not make life easy. It makes it ordered. Order feels like peace. The final Stoic warning. If you return to comfort, this clarity will fade. You will explain it away. You will soften it. That's how weakness survives. The Stoics warned against this. Insight without action is decay. The only question that matters. Not, do I feel like it? But what is the correct action in front of me? Answer it, then move. If you're done mistaking comfort for care, Stay here. Subscribe for Stoicism without softness. Like the video if you choose discipline over relief. Comment one action you will execute today. No plans, no speeches, just action.